Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
Private area in a theater or grandstand where a small group can watch the performance. The royal box was empty. Put into a box. Box the gift, please. The driver's seat on a coach. An armed guard sat in the box with the driver. The quantity contained in a box. He gave her a box of chocolates. Evergreen shrubs are small trees. A predicament from which a skillful or graceful escape is impossible. A blow with the hand, usually on the ear. I gave him a good box on the ear. Any one of several designated areas on a ball field where the batter or catcher or coaches are positioned. The umpire warned the batter to stay in the batter's box. A rectangular drawing. The flowchart contained many boxes. A, usually rectangular, container may have a lid. He rummaged through a box of spare parts. Engage in a boxing match. Hit with the fist. I'll box your ears. Separate partitioned area in a public place for a few people. The sentry stayed in his box to avoid the cold. Private area in a theater or grandstand where a small group can watch the performance. Balcony consisting of the forward section of a theater mezzanine. Put into a box. A collection of things wrapped or boxed together. A wrapped container. Computer science. Written programs or procedures or rules and associated documentation pertaining to the operation of a computer system and that are stored in read-write memory. The driver's seat on a coach. A special seat in a theater or grandstand box. The quantity contained in a box. Very hard, tough, close-grained light yellow wood of the box, particularly the common box, used in delicate woodwork, musical instruments and inlays and engraving blocks. Evergreen shrubs are small trees. An interior angle formed by two meeting walls. A piano was in one corner of the room. A small concavity. A predicament from which a skillful or graceful escape is impossible. His lying got him into a tight corner. The intersection of two streets. Standing on the corner watching all the girls go by. Force a person or an animal into a position from which he cannot escape. Architecture. Solid exterior angle of a building, especially one formed by a cornerstone. A place off to the side of an area. He tripled to the right field corner. A projecting part where two sides or edges meet. He knocked off the corners. A remote area. In many corners of the world they still practice slavery. A temporary monopoly on a kind of commercial trade. A corner on the silver market. Gain control over. Corner the gold market. The point where three areas or surfaces meet or intersect. The corners of a cube. The point where two lines meet or intersect. The corners of a rectangle. Turn a corner. The car corners. A partition section, chamber, or separate room within a larger enclosed area. A space into which an area is subdivided. A specific size and style of type within a type family. An enveloping structure or covering enclosing an animal or plant organ or part. The enclosing frame around a door or window opening. A person of a specified kind, usually with many eccentricities. A mental case. Printing. The receptacle in which a compositor has his type, which is divided into compartments for the different letters, spaces, or numbers. For English, a compositor will ordinarily have two such cases, the uppercase containing the capitals and the lowercase containing the small letters. The quantity contained in a case. The housing or outer covering of something. The clock has a walnut case. Bed linen consisting of a cover for a pillow. The burglar carried his loot in a pillowcase. A special set of circumstances. It may rain, in which case the picnic will be cancelled. An occurrence of something. It was a case of bad judgment. Enclose in, or as if in, a case. My feet were encased in mud. Nouns or pronouns are adjectives, often marked by inflection, related in some way to other words in a sentence. A comprehensive term for any proceeding in a court of law whereby an individual seeks a legal remedy. A person who is subjected to experimental or other observational procedures. Someone who is an object of investigation. The cases that we studied were drawn from two different communities. A glass container used to store and display items in a shop or museum or home. A person requiring professional services. A typical case was the suburban housewife described by a marriage counselor. A portable container for carrying several objects. The musicians left their instrument cases backstage. A problem requiring investigation. Perry Mason solved the case of the missing heir. A specific state of mind that is temporary. A case of the jitters. A statement of facts and reasons used to support an argument. He stated his case clearly. Look over, usually with the intention to rob. They men cased the house. The actual state of things. That was not the case. Enclose in, or as if in, a case. My feet were encased in mud. Enclose in, or as if in, a case. Show to a seat. Assign a seat for. The host seated me next to Mrs. Smith. Place ceremoniously or formally in an office or position. A space reserved for sitting, as in a theater or on a train or airplane. He booked their seats in advance. The fleshy part of the human body that you sit on. A center of authority, as a city from which authority is exercised. Any support where you can sit, especially the part of a chair or bench etc. on which you sit. He dusted off the seat before sitting down. A part of a machine that supports or guides another part. Be able to seat. The theater seats 2,000. Furniture that is designed for sitting on. There were not enough seats for all the guests. Place in or on a seat. The mother seated the toddler on the high chair. Place or attach firmly in or on a base. Seat the camera on the tripod. Provide with seats. Seat a concert hall. Put a seat on a chair. The cloth covering for the buttocks. The seat of his pants was worn through. The legal right to sit as a member in a legislative or similar body. He was elected to a seat in the Senate. The location, metaphorically speaking, where something is based. The brain is said to be the seat of reason. The quantity that a container will hold. 43rd President of the United States, son of George Herbert Walker Bush, born in 1946. Not of the highest quality or sophistication. United States electrical engineer who designed an early analog computer and who led the scientific program of the United States during World War II, 1890 to 1974. Dense vegetation consisting of stunted trees or bushes. Vice President under Reagan and 41st President of the United States, born in 1924. A low woody perennial plant usually having several major stems. Hair growing in the pubic area. A large wilderness area. Provide with a bushing. A low woody perennial plant usually having several major stems. A situation from which extrication is difficult, especially an unpleasant or trying one. The woeful plight of homeless people. A solemn pledge of fidelity. Give to in marriage. Promise solemnly and formally. A situation from which extrication is difficult, especially an unpleasant or trying one. State of uncertainty or perplexity, especially as requiring a choice between equally unfavorable options. A situation from which extrication is difficult, especially an unpleasant or trying one. Finds himself in a most awkward predicament. Make a mess of, destroy or ruin. Be in motion due to some air or water current. The leaves were blowing in the wind. An impact, as from a collision. A strong current of air. Spend thoughtlessly. Throw away. Provide sexual gratification through oral stimulation. An unfortunate happening that hinders or impedes, something that is thwarting or frustrating. Melt, break, or become otherwise unusable. An unpleasant or disappointing surprise. Show off. Leave. Informal or rude. Let's blow this place. Street names for cocaine. Be inadequate or objectionable. This blows. Forceful exhalation through the nose or mouth. He gave his nose a loud blow. Allow to regain its breath. Blow a horse. A powerful stroke with the fist or a weapon. A blow on the head. Be blowing or storming. Burst suddenly. Cause air to go in, on, or through. Cause to be revealed and jeopardized. The double agent was blown by the other side. Cause to move by means of an air current. Exhale hard. Blow on the soup to cool it down. Free of obstruction by blowing air through. Blow one's nose. Lay eggs. Certain insects are said to blow. Make a sound as if blown. Play or sound a wind instrument. Shape by blowing. Sound by having air expelled through a tube. Spend lavishly or wastefully on. spout moist air from the blowhole. A part of an animal that has a special function or is supplied by a given artery or nerve. A particular geographical region of indefinite boundary, usually serving some special purpose or distinguished by its people or culture or geography. It was a mountainous area. The extent of a two-dimensional surface enclosed within a boundary. The area of a rectangle. A particular environment or walk of life. It was a closed area of employment. A part of a structure having some specific characteristic or function. The spacious cooking area provided plenty of room for servants. A subject of study. It was his area of specialization. A parallelogram with 4 right angles. Any object that can be used to hold things, especially a large metal box-like object of standardized dimensions that can be loaded from one form of transport to another. Be engaged in a fight. Carry on a fight. Siblings are always fighting. A hostile meeting of opposing military forces in the course of a war. Make a strenuous or labored effort. The act of fighting, any contest or struggle. A fight broke out at the hockey game. Exert oneself continuously, vigorously, or obtrusively to gain an end or engage in a crusade for a certain cause or person. Be an advocate for. Fight against or resist strongly. Don't fight it. An aggressive willingness to compete. The team was full of fight. A boxing or wrestling match. The fight was on television last night. An intense verbal dispute. A violent fight over the bill is expected in the Senate. Climb awkwardly, as if by scrambling. An energetic attempt to achieve something. Getting through the crowd was a real struggle. Be engaged in a fight. Carry on a fight. An open clash between 2 opposing groups, or individuals. Make a strenuous or labored effort. She struggled for years to survive without welfare. Strenuous effort. The struggle to get through the crowd exhausted her. To exert strenuous effort against opposition. He struggled to get free from the rope. Be engaged in a fight. Carry on a fight. Militant groups are contending for control of the country. Have an argument about something. Maintain or assert. He contended that communism had no future. Succeed in doing, achieving, or producing something, with the limited or inadequate means available. Compete for something. Engage in a contest. Measure oneself against others. To make the subject of dispute, contention, or litigation. Drive something violently into a location. He hit his fist on the table. Kill intentionally and with premeditation. Gain points in a game. He hit a home run. A conspicuous success. That song was his first hit and marked the beginning of his career. Hit with a missile from a weapon. Physics. A brief event in which 2 or more bodies come together. Make a strategic, offensive, assault against an enemy, opponent, or a target. Affect or afflict suddenly, usually adversely. We were hit by really bad weather. Reach a point in time, or a certain state or level. The thermometer hit 100 degrees. encounter by chance. Cause to experience suddenly. An interesting idea hit her. The act of contacting one thing with another. Repeated hitting raised a large bruise. Produce by manipulating keys or strings of musical instruments. Reach a destination, either real or abstract. We hit Detroit by noon. Hit against. Come into sudden contact with. The car hit a tree. A connection made via the internet to another website. WordNet gets many hits from users worldwide. A dose of a narcotic drug. A murder carried out by an underworld syndicate. It has all the earmarks of a mafia hit. Baseball. A successful stroke in an athletic contest, especially in baseball. He came all the way around on Williams's hit. Cause to move by striking. Hit a ball. Deal a blow to, either with the hand or with an instrument. He hit her hard in the face. Hit the intended target or goal. Pay unsolicited and usually unwanted sexual attention to. He tries to hit on women in bars. An elevated box for viewing events at a sports stadium. Large slow-growing evergreen shrub or small tree with multiple stems, extensively used for hedges or borders and topiary figures. Large slow-growing evergreen shrub or small tree with multiple stems, extensively used for hedges or borders and topiary figures. Large slow-growing evergreen shrub or small tree with multiple stems, extensively used for hedges or borders and topiary figures. An area on a baseball diamond, on either side of home plate, marked by lines within which the batter must stand when at bat.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.